On Friday, May 18th, several thousand nurses belonging to the National Nurses United Union rallied in downtown Chicago's Daley Plaza to host what they have dubbed the People's G8. The action coincides with a number of mobilizations planned over the weekend in Chicago, which was set to host both the G8 and NATO summits. The federal government decided to move the G8 summit to Camp David in a remote part of Maryland, citing security concerns over the large protests planned against the economic and military conferences.
The nurses are continuing their demands for what they're calling a Robin Hood tax, which would charge half of 1% for all financial transactions on Wall Street over $100, which they say could generate an estimated $350 billion per year.
Roseanne DeMauro is the executive director of National Nurses United, the largest registered nurse union in the country. She says that rather than spending public funds on the military and U.S. interventions abroad, the Robin Hood tax could be used to pay for a variety of social services at home that have been slashed in the wake of austerity measures.
We would reorganize the priorities. We would spend it on human beings, on healthcare, on jobs, on libraries, on teachers, on things that actually are part of a society, that build a society and build hope. So our legislators, our electeds are off track. The nurses are here to get them on track.
Chicago's current mayor and former White House chief of staff under the Obama administration, Rahm Emanuel, had threatened to cancel the rally and move it to a new location further away from downtown, after it was announced that musician Tom Morello, formerly of Rage Against the Machine, would be performing at the event. The nurses fought back and won, and the energized rally was carried out peacefully and without any confrontations with the massive police presence that has flooded downtown Chicago ahead of the NATO summit. DeMauro says the nurses are at the forefront of challenging traditional labor politics in the U.S. by jumping on board a growing international movement.
I do think we have a more class-conscious line. We don't act like we're not working people. We don't act like everyone's middle class and we're all in this together. And that's the paradigm the labor movement has bought into, making everyone think that there are no sides. Well, there are sides, and the 1% is taking it away from the 99%. And so we want a financial transaction tax where we can get it back, restore our communities, jumpstart a new strategic approach to the economy, invested in the people of this country and the country worldwide. We're joining a movement. 40 countries already part of the Robin Hood movement, the Robin Hood tax, and we're bringing it to America.
DeMauro asserts that the upcoming elections and the Democratic Party's comfortable relationship with organized labor are not as relevant to working people's lives as the creation of popular movements that elect officials into office who are held accountable to the people that elect them, rather than corporate interests.
We actually have to change the way we do politics. Our legislators, I could go on and on about how disappointing Democrats are, but the truth of the matter is both parties have failed this country. And what we need to do is have a people's movement that elects people, puts them in office, and holds them accountable. And that's what we're much more interested in, a grassroots populist nurses and all the other groups that were represented here, a movement of magnitudes like this country hasn't seen in, well, many, many years.
Many more actions have been planned ahead of the two-day NATO summit, which is expected to draw thousands of protesters to downtown Chicago. This is David Doherty with the Real News Network.